At the Bottom of the Abandoned Well, Part 3. Perhaps I'll have to stay up the entire night. I still can't believe what just happened, even though I saw it all with my own eyes. The wandering spirits, her tragic tale from long ago, the flickering figures of ghosts and demons, they all keep replaying in my mind. Everything feels strange and unreal. Rain. It's raining again tonight. The droplets patter rhythmically on the roof, thunder roars without pause, lightning flashes violet across the sky. Trees droop and lean, the chirping of crickets screeches continuously. The wind blows cold and endlessly through the house, slipping through every crevice, bringing with it a damp, melancholic atmosphere. For many people, rain is like a natural sedative, calming the mind and making it easier to sleep. But for me, it's nothing but a bothersome, annoying sound. Now, the whole house is asleep. I'm the only one still awake, enjoying the deep sorrow and despair of this night. My feelings now are entirely different from the past 2 nights. Back then, I was anxious and confused. But now, I'm uneasy and worried. Not for myself, but for that unfortunate woman, and for the 2 brothers who died unjustly, trapped souls unable to find peace, doomed to wander like her. We already have a plan to expose the culprit, but my anxiety still outweighs my confidence. After all, Old Man Namgu is known to be kind and likable, with fields stretching far and wide. How could such a man be a cold-blooded murderer who killed 3 people? As I watched the pouring rain, I suddenly remembered what Grandma once said. Life isn't as simple as a book. You can't just read the beginning and guess the end. Life is complicated, child. She was absolutely right. Life is complicated. Anything can happen at any time, and you'll never see it coming. I took a deep breath, and now I felt more confident, certain that our plan would succeed, and the killer would be brought to justice, no matter who he was. After some reflection, I dozed off. Despite everything, tonight felt oddly calm and peaceful. The rain stopped. The night passed. It gave way to a bright blue sky full of hopeful sunshine. I must have stayed up too late last night, because today I woke up later than usual. My parents had already left, probably gone up the hill to pick corn. Only my sister and I were home. She was by the window hanging clothes. When she saw I was awake, she turned and asked, "So, that plan of yours, is it done yet? If it is, tell me about it. Are you sure it'll work? Everything's riding on you, you know." I smiled and said, "Don't worry. If I'm doing it, there's no chance it'll fail. I promise the culprit will show himself and confess everything within a week. Just give it time." She stared at me, leaned close to the window and said, "Well, if you say so, you better pull it off. If you need anything, just call me." No sooner had we finished talking than the exorcist showed up. He stormed into the house, grabbed a chair, and sat beside me, quickly asking, "What now, child?" "I'm worried. Word is that Namgu will head to the capital next week. If we don't act fast, we'll miss our chance." Sitting up, I leaned in and whispered, "I know he's single and superstitious. He's terrified of ghosts. His house is plastered with talismans. So here's what you do. Go to his house, and do this, then tomorrow night, my sister and I will act." The old man nodded, clapped his hands, and grinned. "Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Ha ha ha." As the first step of the plan, he rushed straight to Namgu's house. The moment he arrived, he sensed a heavy, ominous energy hovering over the place. He was sure it could only come from a tormented spirit who died unjustly. Namgu was standing at his doorstep, neatly dressed, puffing on his pipe. The exorcist pretended to be thirsty to find an excuse to enter. "Greetings, kind sir. I'm a fortune teller and ghost banisher from the capital. It's been a long journey, and I'm terribly thirsty. Might I come in for a cup of tea and rest a bit? In return, I'll offer you a free fortune reading." True to his superstitious nature, the man immediately invited him in. "Oh, please do. This jasmine tea was ordered all the way from the capital. It's wonderfully fragrant." It's such an honor to have you here. You must be a renowned seer, right? The exorcist lowered his voice and said, I won't hide anything. I've practiced divination for 30 years, and I also deal with exorcisms and banishing spirits. Suddenly, his expression turned cold and intense. Let me be clear. I never miss. There is a powerful vengeful spirit in this house. Its aura has turned pitch black. If you don't deal with it, you'll either lose everything or meet your death. Namgu's face darkened noticeably, though he kept a calm demeanor. He set aside his pipe and spoke with a sneer. And you call yourself a master? I'm known far and wide for being kind and virtuous. No one has ever complained about me. I give rice to the poor and help my neighbors. The heavens favor me. What demons would dare harm me? Ha! You're mistaken, old man. Enraged, the exorcist slammed his hand on the table. Insolent! I am sure there's a grieving soul here, wrongfully killed. Then, with a sly grin, he added, I even know where it originated from. I saw the bones of the girl locked inside a jar. Are you still going to deny it? Upon hearing such precise words, Namgu panicked. He glanced around, wiped the sweat from his brow, and asked, how do you know that? Only my wife and I knew. She's already passed, and I never told anyone. How do you know this secret? Seeing his panic, the exorcist softened his tone. Now do you believe in my 30 years of experience? Nothing escapes my sight. So, are you going to tell me the truth or not? I need to know so I can help. Namgu hesitated, stroked his mustache, and then replied. First, forgive me for being rude earlier. I see now. You truly are gifted. He sipped his tea and continued. I once had a daughter. Naive girl, she fell for a scoundrel from the next village. He seduced her and disappeared, leaving her pregnant. You know what that means in a small village, unwed and with child? Her parents would rather die than face that shame. One rainy night, overwhelmed by pressure, she hanged herself. I didn't dare bury her publicly. I dismembered her and cremated the remains right here. No funeral. Nothing. If you can help me exorcise the spirit, I'll pay you well for your trouble. Though this story completely contradicted the ghost woman's tale, the exorcist sensed something was off, especially in the man's nervous tone and hesitant manner. Humph. I left my exorcism tools in the capital. I only brought my divination set. Do you still want a reading? The man nodded quickly. Yes, please. The exorcist pulled out 2 coins, placed them in a turtle shell, and gave it a few shakes. Then he asked for the man's hands. Clicking his tongue, he said, This spirit, she's not your daughter. One way or another, you'll face calamity. Sooner or later, you'll pay for what you've done. Namgu's face turned red with anger. He shouted, Don't push it, old man. I've lived a virtuous life, what nonsense about punishment. And I asked my daughter, don't speak such rubbish. You charlatan. Shaking with fury, the exorcist bellowed. You lying bastard. You'll pay dearly for this. Turn back now before it's too late. But Namgu was just as fierce. Out. Get out of my house. Servants. Show him the door. The exorcist roared. I need no escort. Good deeds bring blessings, evil deeds bring retribution. I'll be watching when your head rolls and your blood spills. Humph. With that, he stormed out, leaving Namgu trembling in fear, worried that his past sins might be exposed. Back home, the exorcist told me everything. Just as we suspected, we finally knew where the girl's remains were hidden. Now it was time for Phase 2, psychological terror. Once again, I ran to Grandma's farm. She loved raising birds, and among them was an especially clever parrot that could speak fluently. I brought it home and trained it. Within an hour, it had memorized its lines and could recite them perfectly. Night fell. Time to act. I sneaked over to Namgo's house alone. He had a mango tree near the wall, so I climbed up and hid in its branches. Through the window, I saw him counting money again, the room dimly lit by candlelight. I released the parrot from my bag. It flew to the window and began reciting the eerie lines it had learned. In life, do good deeds well, so ghosts at night won't give you hell. Avoid evil that shames the soul, lest hawks and crows feast on you whole. He fell backward off his chair, eyes wide in terror. He screamed, "Go away, you cursed bird! Leave me alone! Get out, or I'll kill you!" Aha! But the parrot continued, "Though my body is no longer whole, my vengeful soul still haunts this home. Heaven sees all, none shall hide. Your sins, your crime, shall not abide." He cowered in a dark corner, clutching his head. Then, in a panic, he grabbed a slipper and hurled it at the bird, but missed. The parrot flew off into the night, cackling. "Tomorrow night I'll return. I'll see you then." Ah ha ha ha. Perched on the tree, I giggled as I watched him slam the windows shut, his pale face drenched in sweat. Phase 2, a total success. Now for the final step, the vengeful spirit in the mango tree. This time, it was my sister's turn. We waited for darkness again. I carefully applied makeup to make her look exactly like the ghost woman. Together, we returned to the mango tree. We climbed up and looked through the window. As expected, he was still counting money, only this time, he had a slingshot on the table. I mimicked the call of an owl, loud enough to echo through the night. The old man immediately perked up, looking around with wary eyes, gripping his slingshot tightly. His eyes darted about restlessly. Then, suddenly, he sat back down again. I took the bell from the bundle master had given me and rang it 3 times in quick succession. Clang, clang, clang. Inside the house, it was different from before. Now the old man had pulled out a rusty knife, stained with blood. In a rage, he shouted in broken phrases. Are you human or ghost? If you've got guts, come out and face me. I'll kill you all." That was my sister's cue. She climbed like a squirrel, quick and agile, and in the blink of an eye, she was already on a branch near the house. She brushed her hair aside and let out a loud, eerie laugh full of cunning and terror. Ah, ha, ha, ha. The moment he saw her, the old man trembled violently and dropped the knife. He clasped his hands together and knelt, pleading. Please, spare me. That happened a long time ago. I didn't mean to kill you. Have mercy, I swear I'll build an altar and perform a ritual to help you move on. Ghost, please spare me." My sister bared her blood-red teeth and shouted in his face. "You think I should spare you? I should have killed you, but then I'd be just like you. Tomorrow night, at the second watch, between 9 and 11 p.m., bring the urn with my ashes to the well. Tear off the talisman. Only then will I let your dog life go." Terrified, he kowtowed repeatedly and begged. Okay. Tomorrow night I'll do it. Just please keep your word, spare me." She nodded in agreement. At that moment, I threw a smoke bomb into the house as cover for our escape. The next morning, right after breakfast, I rushed to the district magistrate's office. Seeing a giant ceremonial drum, I grabbed the mallet and pounded it hard. 2 guards rushed out and opened the gate. As soon as I stepped inside, I felt a chill. This place was solemn and dignified. The district magistrate here was known for his wisdom and integrity. He had never taken a bribe in his life. He stepped out, imposing and stern, with a cold, steel-like expression. "You there, boy. Beating the drum at dawn to cry injustice must be something dire. Speak, what grievance brings you here?" Nervous, but keeping my composure, I told him the full story in detail. After hearing it all, the magistrate was stunned. He couldn't believe such a bizarre and twisted tale. In all his years of judging cases, he had never encountered something like this. I pleaded with all my heart, even staking my life on it. "Please, Your Honor, Believe me. Tonight, if you go to the well in the graveyard, you'll see everything I've described. If I'm lying, I'm willing to pay with my life. A man of firm morals and great experience in the courts, the magistrate sensed the sincerity and sheer truth in my words, truth that seemed unbelievable yet undeniable. He replied, "Very well. Tonight, I'll go there with these 2 guards. But if you've lied, I won't go easy on you." The sun had already disappeared behind the mountains, pink clouds fading, the horizon blurred. The moon began to rise, signaling the beginning of the battle. That night, the moon was unusually bright, even though it was only a crescent. The clouds drifted to either side, and the path to the graveyard was wide open. I had everything set. The master would be waiting inside the graveyard, while I, the magistrate, and the 2 guards hid in the nearby bamboo grove. Right at the second watch, Hunchback Nam arrived. He walked alone under the moonlight, clutching a red urn close to his chest. He looked around the graveyard as the wind howled through the bamboo and kicked up dust and fallen leaves into the air. Spooked, he placed the urn on the ground and leaned over the well, speaking. "Are you there? I brought your ashes. I'll tear off the talisman, and tomorrow I'll hold a ritual to release your soul. Let's say we're even now." The magistrate was startled, his eyes wide with fear as he looked at me. The master suddenly dropped from the soapberry tree, startling Nam and sending him stumbling backward. Regaining his composure, Nam pulled out the old knife and held it up. Under the moonlight, its blade gleamed with a deadly chill. He grinned wickedly. "Oh, it's you, old man. What are you doing here?" "Never mind, doesn't matter. You're going to die anyway. I'll even let you ask one last question before your head rolls. Don't bother screaming, no one dares come here at this hour. Go on. Ask." The master glared coldly and said, "Fine, if that's what you want. Why did you kill those 2 boys? And why did you trap that girl here?" Nam laughed haughtily. "Good question, old man. I'll give you an honest answer, just to give you peace of mind before you die. If I hadn't killed that girl, I would have ended up rotting in jail. I never wanted to marry her, I only wanted to use her body for fun. As for those 2 boys, bad luck. The night I came back from the theater, I saw them sneaking around. That old fortune teller once told me, anyone who gets close to the well, kill them. The ghost might possess them and reveal the truth, it'll all come out eventually. So I had to act. I bashed their heads in, stuffed mud in their mouths, and hid their bodies in the bamboo. Their parents thought ghosts killed them. I couldn't let those kids ruin everything I'd built." The master collapsed to his knees, clutching his chest in disbelief. "I can't believe such evil exists in this world. You slaughtered 3 innocent lives without remorse. You're a beast in human form." Nam laughed maniacally. "Old man, you're wrong. It wasn't 3 lives, it was 4. Don't move now, I'll make your death quick." Ha ha ha. He crept toward the master, knife raised, looking like a wild beast craving blood. Just as he was about to strike, the vengeful ghost of the young woman rose from the well and appeared before him. Ah ha ha, 30 years. It's been 30 years. We're truly fated, aren't we? I've finally laid eyes on your filthy face again. Do you remember that night? The blood I shed all over your house? Do you remember throwing my body into the well? My tears as I begged for mercy? Do you remember everything now? You've got guts showing your face here again. Nam screamed and fell backward, hitting his head on the ground. You said, you promised to spare me. I brought your ashes. You have to keep your word. She sat on the edge of the well and lifted her shirt. Promise? Did I ever promise you anything? Look at the stab wounds on my belly. You think I'd forgive a dog like you? You have to die. Only then will I rest. I died in agony, abandoned. My parents never gave me a proper burial. I've suffered in this place for so long. Now it's your turn to pay. Ah ha ha ha. She flew toward him, her pale hands with bulging veins outstretched to strangle him. But as she got close, she was suddenly repelled, flung against the well. Nam realized he was carrying a talisman from the old shaman. His eyes widened, and he burst into laughter. "You think you can kill me that easily? Too bad for you, I've got this talisman. You're powerless. Now sit there and watch me slit the old man's throat." He crept toward the master again, raising the knife. Just as he was about to strike, the magistrate leapt up and shouted, "Guards! Arrest this monster immediately. He will be beheaded tomorrow at noon." Nam panicked, dropped the knife, and tried to flee. But there was no way he could outrun the two strong guards. He was quickly captured. The magistrate and the guards hauled him off to the prison. The master and I rushed to the ghost. She looked exhausted, unable to speak. The magistrate said, "I've kept my word. The murderer is caught. Tomorrow I'll hold a ritual to help you pass on." She tightly gripped our hands and nodded in gratitude. "Hear ye, hear ye. Everyone in the village, gather at the district court at noon sharp to witness the public execution of the cold-blooded murderer who took 3 innocent lives. Anyone who does not attend will be deemed an accomplice. Hear ye, hear ye." The soldier rode through the market shouting from horseback. The entire village gathered at the courthouse. All shops closed, and no matter how busy people were, they had to be there. The district magistrate stepped out with an imposing presence and quickly took his seat. On both sides stood tall, broad-shouldered guards, exuding authority. The entire village crowd trembled before the solemn court, not a single soul dared utter a word. Suddenly, the magistrate shouted, "Bring forth the cold-blooded murderer, Nam Gu." The villagers instantly stirred, in stark contrast to their earlier silence. They were horrified upon hearing that village chief Nam Gu was a murderer. No one could believe it. They all cried out in unison, insisting a mistake had been made, that the wrong man had been captured. Seeing the commotion, the magistrate bellowed, "Silence! All of you! I have always been known for being just and righteous in judgment. Never once have I wrongfully condemned anyone." Still hearing murmurs among the crowd, the magistrate slammed his hand on the table. "You cold-blooded criminal! Was it not you who, 30 years ago, raped and threw the victim's body down a well? And were you not the one who murdered the 2 children of Madame Nam Hong?" Nam Gu could only hang his head low, mumbling haltingly, "Why yes, it was me. I killed all 3 of them." The magistrate stood up and addressed the crowd. "Now do you all believe me?" On the surface, he seemed gentle and kind, but inside, he was a ruthless beast. His disguise was so perfect that even I doubted he could be the killer. But thanks to a clever young boy who helped me solve this case, we uncovered the truth. From the crowd, Madame Nam Hong burst into tears and screamed, You killed my children. Give them back to me, you heartless monster. You beast. You inhuman animal. I'll kill you." Others joined in, cursing him loudly. Now, all he could do was lower his head in shame. The magistrate raised his hand to signal silence. "Noon has come. It's time for you to pay with your life. Executioner, step forward." Out stepped a towering executioner from the district office. He was shirtless, revealing strange tattoos across his back and chest, and held a sharp blade in one hand. He took a mouthful of wine, raised his blade high, and waited for the magistrate's command. The magistrate returned to his seat, pulled out a command token, tossed it to the ground, and roared like a lion. "Execute!" At that instant, the executioner spat wine onto the blade. In a swift motion, he struck down on the murderer's neck. Swoosh! Nam Gu's head fell with a loud thud, blood pouring from his neck, carving a deep hole in the earth. His body collapsed, the white prisoner's robe now soaked in deep crimson. It was perhaps the most gruesome scene I had ever witnessed. The magistrate continued, "Justice has been served. And to give the villagers a warm and prosperous new year, all of the murderer's property shall be converted into rice, salt, and clothes to be distributed among the poor. All in favor, raise your voices. The villagers enthusiastically cheered in agreement. Everyone was satisfied with the verdict, justice delivered, and the poor supported. It was truly wise and virtuous judgment. Night fell once more. I went with the spiritual master to the cemetery to perform the ritual to release her soul. He lit 49 candles and 49 sticks of incense. On the altar, he placed a tray of sticky rice and a small plate of salt and rice. Holding 3 incense sticks to his forehead, he began chanting prayers for her salvation. After a while, she suddenly emerged from the bottom of the well. She no longer appeared as a tormented spirit with long black hair and a tattered white robe, but had now transformed into a beautiful young woman in a pristine white dress. She smiled gently and spoke. "Thank you, both of you, for helping me release this injustice. I truly don't know how to express the depth of my gratitude and joy. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now I can begin a new life. May fate allow us to meet again." As she finished speaking, she rose into the sky. The bright moonlight washed away all the hatred in her soul, leaving only the purity and kindness of a girl in her 20s. She slowly dissolved into pieces and faded into the glowing night. These were truly the most extraordinary days of my life. Perhaps they will forever remain in my heart and mind, never to fade. Time went on, and finally, the Lunar New Year arrived. From the old to the young, everyone let go of the dark memories of the past and joined together in the colorful, joyous celebrations. The end.